Hi everyone, my name is Teresa. Today we are chatting with Jack, a key accounts manager with SciNote, to explore some of your frequently asked questions. Let's get started. Hello Jack, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing, Teresa?
Good, good. So I know that usually we get a request from a researcher to come to us to meet with you. What are they usually looking for when they meet with you? What do they want to use SciNote to help them do?
Yeah, so most commonly I'm speaking with researchers that are using paper or a mishmash of Excel and OneDrive and things like that. They're looking for a more centralized tool to help them have all of their lab information, data, results, inventories, protocols in one place. And that's exactly what SciNote provides. It gives you the advantages of project management, inventory management, and protocol template management all in one place.
Sounds good. So can you dive a little bit into the kind of functionalities that SciNote has to help PIs or instructor to manage the lab?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the first thing I would highlight here is that every single thing a user does in SciNote is tracked with a date and timestamp. So no matter what you do, no matter how small you think a change is you're making, that's going to be automatically tracked by our system. So at any time, a PI or lab manager would be able to see exactly who did what and when. But on top of that, the way we manage projects is very organized and structured. You're able to assign specific pieces of an experiment to individual members of your lab and then track them from there.
That sounds very useful for PI to have a software like SciNote.
Absolutely.
So another question that we usually get is, can I use Excel with SciNote? Because a lot of lab use things like Excel spreadsheets or things like Word document, or if they do presentations with PowerPoint, like, can I use the software with SciNote?
Yes, you most certainly can. Thanks to SciNote having a full integration with Microsoft Online. Once you put a Word document, Excel spreadsheet, or PowerPoint presentation into the notebook, it essentially lives within the notebook. You can access it directly there, make changes that would be directly saved to SciNote, so there's no need to worry about pulling that file out and re-uploading it and wasting a bunch of your time.
Great. Certainly sounds like it's saving a lot of time.
Absolutely.
You mentioned inventory management earlier when you talk about functionalities. So how can a lab integrate inventory management into SciNote's assistant, and what benefits does that bring?
Sure. So every single SciNote plan comes with an inventory management system, and that inventory management system is going to have a wide range of functionality that's going to help out any lab that's working with reagents, equipment, samples, anything of the sort. First of all, you're going to be able to link specifically to the experiment where an item is being used. So as far as tracking who assigned this item, when was it used, how much was consumed, all of that is going to be able to be tracked by our inventory management system. We also have an add-on called stock management where SciNote can even track that stock consumption for you. So let's say you use 5 milliliters of something that you have 25 milliliters of, you wouldn't have to manually deduct that 5 milliliters. The last thing I would highlight here is that, again, with the integration with Excel, any type of inventory management that you're already doing in Excel can just come directly into SciNote as an import, which is going to also save you a bunch of time.
Perfect. I think a lot of people use Excel as their primary inventory management method. So the fact that you can put it into SciNote directly is really time saving.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I know that a lot of labs work with undergraduate students or visiting scholars where their stay with the lab is more short term. We always get the question of what happens if I have undergraduate students come to the lab, and then leave in a few months. How does that work when it comes to SciNote, with people coming and going and the constant flux of students?
Yeah, so luckily with SciNote, this is fairly seamless. With SciNote, it is a license structure. So basically, everybody that needs unique access to the software has their own login. So let's say Jane is in the lab for a few months and then Jane moves on. What you're going to be able to do is lock Jane out from having access to your site. And you might be wondering, well, what happens to all of Jane's data and projects? It's not lost. It remains within the system assigned to her user license so that you'll always still see Jane did this on this day, but all of her ongoing work could be assigned to a new member of the lab, and you could invite that new member and set them up with their own email and password.
Perfect. So let's say that if I have a student who graduated, and then I need to look for Jane's data in, say, 3 years' time for a publication, I will still be able to do that?
It'll still be there.
Perfect.
Hmm.
That's great.
Absolutely.
So how does it work if my lab grows? Like, how does it work with SciNote? Is it easy to add users? Is it easy for me to control, what the new lab member can do?
Absolutely, yeah. So at any time during your SciNote subscription, you can add new users. So we see lab growth all the time. It's as simple as sending us an email and we can get you set up with the new license. You can invite this person, assign them to the correct projects, and get them all set up as really that same day often.
Great. So how does a subscription with SciNote work then? Is it like, is it monthly, annual? Also, like how does one sign up?
Right. So SciNote is a pretty simple structure. Like I said, it is a licensing structure. So let's say you have 5 people in the lab, you would purchase 5 licenses, and that is a yearly fee. So we have an annual subscription model with SciNote, and you're going to be able to just contact me directly, meet with me, we'll discuss your needs. I'd be able to provide you a quote. And then from there, we can discuss the next steps towards a subscription. But it's a really simple process that can take no more than a couple days to get set up.
Great. That sounds easy.
Mhm.
So if I want to try SciNote, let's say, and I'm not sure yet because I imagine a lot of the people have tried an E11 before. Um, what should I do next? Is there a free trial
Right.
available? I should ask that, sorry.
Yeah, that's a great question, and there absolutely is. We understand that at SciNote you want to test drive the car before you buy it. This is a big commitment you're making to manage your data and lab projects. So there is a 14-day free trial available. You can set up a meeting with any of our key account managers, and they'll be able to set you up on your free trial.
Great. Would you say that it would be a good idea to involve some other lab members in the free trial as well? Can I have more than one person testing it?
Yes, you can. The trial default comes with 5 seats, and we can increase that as you need. We want everybody that is going to be using the software to test it to make the onboarding and implementation within your lab as seamless and easy as possible.
Great. So let's say that someone signs up with SciNote, use it for a year or two, um, ended up thinking that it's not the best fit. What happens then? Like if I decided that I don't want to continue using SciNote, can I take my data with me?
You can. So actually, in fact, there's bountiful options for exports while you're subscribed to SciNote. We even recommend keeping some files backed up if you like, just for safekeeping. But of course, we understand. Maybe something will happen in a couple of years and you decide SciNote's no longer a fit for you. You would be able to export your data at any time. We can help you with that process, pull it all out, and there's no circumstance where your data would be lost. We just simply would not allow for that.
That's great to know because data, mobility is super critical for a lot of people.
It is.
So my last question that we usually hear from someone, contacting us and ask is, how much is SciNote? Can I really afford it?
Yeah, so this is a great question. And while I can't give specific numbers without meeting with the lab specifically, I really need to understand the requirements a lab has to understand which plan to offer them. I can say that from meeting with people every single day and discussing SciNote and its associated plan pricing, that most everybody comments that it is on the affordable side. There's very few people that say there's no way I can afford SciNote. It's not a fit for me. In general, if you need a way to manage your data, manage your projects and inventories in a lab, I think you're going to see the value of SciNote pretty quickly.
Perfect. I think that's all the questions that we usually hear from the users, the 10
Mhm.
most frequently asked questions. And thank you so much for joining us today, Jack.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Teresa.
Perfect.